Okay, I'm just going to see if I can sort out my lighting so it stops turning me into a ghost. 1 sec. Come on, camera, it's not that hard. 1 minute. Hey, stupid thing. For some reason it points in exactly the right place to make me turn into a ghost. So let's have a look, see whether this is working. We shall see, we shall see. How do I see? Let me see. But excuse me, because I haven't done this for donkeys. I've been, oh, Happy New Year, Jamie's dolls. Hi. Yeah, just bear with me. And ignore the stupid thumbnail. I couldn't get the glare to go off. Okay, so yes. Okay, so I can see. Right. Hello. So what I'm going to do is going to show you me making one of my OC characters. I've got my little character, which is Frank E. Stein. It's my little version of Frankenstein, basically, and he looks like this. Okay, can you see him on the screen? That's what he looks like. So my aim is today is to recreate him. So I'm hoping I can, let me see, top chat. Hopefully I'll see comments and stuff as they come up. So yeah, I'm going to get going, and what I'm going to do, I'll just my reference picture. This is another one I've been making today, which is my little Ned for arty. He's a bit weird. I was having a bit of a I can't sculpt anymore moment. But it's alright. The clay I use is Sculpey, Super Sculpey. Oh, powered by Earl Grey. Happy New Year. Hello. Let me know if you can't hear me or anything. Yeah, I've got my volume up. But yeah, I've been doing YouTube for about 14 years now. I've only done a live stream once before, and the whole system's changed, so that's why I'm confused. So what I'm going to do is I'll switch to the other viewpoint from my iPad, and then you can see what I'm doing on my table. Feel free to ask me any questions. Let me know whatever you want to, whatever you want to ask. And yeah, I'll show you what I'm doing. So let's turn you down and move my light back down. As you can see, I've got my reference picture there. Because I have to have my light on so you can see what I'm doing on my desk. But if I have my light on my face, it turns me into a ghost. Okay, so I have got this ball of clay, which I have just roughly shaped, ball of foil, which I have roughly shaped into the shape of his head. And I'm going to get some of my Sculpey clay, which I probably should have prepared earlier because it's welded. Something to chop. There we go. I watch other people use clay on YouTube, and their Sculpey seems to just pull apart. Mine, no. It's in like a solid block and I can't do anything with it. See? I've seen people where they just pull off sections. It doesn't want to do that. So, anyway, what I'm going to do is just soften this bit up, and then I'm going to start coating this in a clay so I can start making it look like my little character dude. And you'll have to excuse my fancy rolling pin. I keep meaning to buy one of those little acrylic rolling pin things for clay, and I keep forgetting when I ordered the clay to order one. So I'm still working using my jar. But it works quite well for what I want. So I hope everyone's had a decent Christmas. I know it's been a bit weird, to put it mildly, and you might not have been able to do what you want, but hopefully you've had chance to, you know, relax and chill out and enjoy the break from work for a bit. Because I know there's a lot of people at the minute stressing and working hard, so it's quite nice to have a break. So hopefully you've all had a nice break. I've been off anyway. For anyone who watches my vlogs when I rarely do them, my anxiety and everything's been crazy, but I'm all right. I'm on the mend. So I'm doing fine. That's why I felt up to doing a live stream, because I haven't. I wanted to do something a bit different this year, and I know like on YouTube, I'll get some people who will regularly comment, say hello and stuff, and then there's a lot of others who they'll dip in and out of my videos, but they don't really sort of ever let me know that they've been there, as it were. So I'm hoping this year to build up a bit more of a community with it, with my YouTube channel. I like the fact I can just sit in nattering away and do that while I'm creating. Normally I sit here and I've just got videos playing in the background, but while I'm filming, it tends to just be me and my thoughts, or I'll have some music on. So it's quite nice to actually have a natter for once. Okay, so I've got that. I'm just going to check in case I'm missing any messages or anything. Let's have a look. Yeah, so I've got the two of you that said Happy New Year so far. That's fine. Happy New Year. Let's just see what else. It's alright. Just checking on my phone because I'd got a message. I can do that later. Okie doke. So I'm going to smooth that down a little bit. And I'm just rolling it in my hands just to create that slightly smooth surface. And there we go. It's covered in clay. Doop doop doo. There we go. And all I'm worried about at the minute is just covering the foil and getting it fairly smooth. Now I know it's not the exact shape that I need it just yet. And the redrawing I've done of my little original Frankie character, I have done him with slightly more rounded head this time. But I kind of like the shape of this, so I might use the shape of this anyway. And then what I need to do is flatten the top of his head. There we go, got a bit of a flat top. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing properly. Is that better? There we go. So I'll flatten the top of his head, and to do that, just press him like this. Onto my table. And I'm just going to blend out that edge there, like so. Now just to let you know, this is going to take half an hour to bake in the oven once I've done it. So I'll have to do that in, like, finish this off, like painting it and stuff, probably in the next live stream. which I'll more than likely do next Sunday. I think Sunday's going to be my live stream day, I reckon. I think that's going to be the easiest way of doing it. So what I need to do now is mark out where everything's going to go. And I've lost my clay tool. Where are you? I have one specific clay tool I prefer to use, but not today. Where's it gone? Normally I've ended up putting it in my paintbrush pot by accident because it looks like a paintbrush. Nah, it's disappeared. Okay, I'll use something else. I've got these anyway. Got a bunch of these. Okie dokie. So, if I use my finger actually. If I press down about there, that's where his eyeballs are going to go, I reckon. Purple oil grey. I actually put making some little sculptures on my list of things I want to try and make this year. So it vanished. I want to try making some little sculptures on my list of things I want to try and make this year, so it's nice to watch for a wee refresh. Haven't done anything with clay in years. Neither have I, powered by Earl Grey. This is why I'm trying to get back into it. I used to use it's like this air drying clay stuff, like the Das clay, which I now loathe, because all the packs I've had, the last few packs I had, it just crumbled and dry out in no time. It was driving me soft. Sorry if I went out of focus then. So I've switched to using Sculpey. So I tried Sculpey for a couple of things I did. I don't think did I use it for Jack Skellington? I think I used it when I made my Jack Skellington doll, I think. And I was quite pleased with how it stays moist and everything until obviously you bake it. And it doesn't crumble or anything, and what I like is the fact that I can bake it in half an hour and then boom, it's done. Whereas if you use the air drying clay, you've got to wait like 24 hours for it, which is annoying when you want to just finish your project. So yeah, this is me getting back into clay myself as well. Normally I do a lot of stuff that's like paper mache and that, but there's only so much paper mache things you can store around the house, and I wanted to make something different because I'd finished my haunted village, which you may or may not have seen over Halloween. I did it over the course of a year, but yeah, that's all packed away now, and I'm doing something else. Need the space, and I thought, I know, I'll create some little figures out of clay. So I'm a bit rough, a bit rusty. I used to do this a lot. I can't believe I used to do this a lot, and then I just stopped doing it. I don't know why, but that's fine. I like doing different things, and I change up what I'm doing every so often. So yeah, enjoy exploring my clay. Definitely try something new for the new year. It's one thing I always like to do. Boop, boom, boop, 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 boom. There we go. So I've got a little smile so far. Then across his head, he's got a scar. These are useful, by the way. I got these off Amazon. There's like a whole bunch of them. There's all different tools. It's like a pack of them. So if you're looking for clay tools, something like this is ideal. I'm not sponsored or anything. It's just something I found that works and does the job. Because I've got a couple that look like paintbrushes with like the rubbery tip on, which I've currently lost for some reason. And oh, don't get me wrong, but These were cheaper and they're metal, so they're a bit tougher. So I think I'll get more use out of these. And also what I like is I can get some nice crisp edges with these, which you can't always get without the sort of rubberified ones. So that's where one lot of stitches is going to go. There we go. And then he does have one that goes right around here, past his nose, around his cheek. So I'm just marking on where these lines of stitches are going to go. Because the idea behind this is I'm thinking if he's got maybe the top and this cheek are like one piece, the middle bit's another piece from another body, and then there's this piece which is separate again. So it's like he's made from about 3 different people. That was the idea when I designed it. And to design it, I just drew it on my my iPad. Just drew it now in Procreate, and I just drew it quite cartoony. But that's fine. I'm not going to worry about trying to do realism with sculpting or anything, because yeah, I've hardly ever sculpted in my life, so I'm going to just do some nice straightforward stuff. There we go. So he's nearly got a face. Woohoo! Right, eyes. Let's sort you some eyes out, mate. Let's see how big this needs to be. Is anyone else finding it's freezing today? If you're in the UK, it's really cold today. Maybe. So I'm currently sitting here. I'm all tucked warm. I've got the fire on full blast. I've got a blanket over my feet and my legs. I've got my jacket on. But I like it though. I don't like summer. I prefer the cold. And my asthma prefers the cold. I was contemplating doing his eyes with some little cabochon things I've got, but I'm not sure how they would take in the oven if I painted the back of them, because they're only little. They're these. They're like little clear ones. And I think they'd work. Yeah, they'd work quite well actually. But it's painting the back of them. I don't know how the acrylic paint would work in the oven, so I'll do that at some point, maybe if I've got some smaller ones, because the ones I've got that are already got eyes in, they're massive, so way too big. So I might, I'll experiment with that. I think experiment with using the cabochons. So for now, what I'm going to do is just basically make my own version with some clay. Just try and get that little dent out. So all I've done is I've rolled a ball of clay and chopped it in half to make a little dome. I want his eyes quite big. Oh, I've just thought I'm going to do one smaller than the other as well, because I normally draw my characters with one eye bigger than the other. Not sure why, it's just a stylistic choice. Yeah, hot water bottles and bed socks definitely here in the Midlands as well. I bet it's cold up Scotland. I like it though. There's something about the winter and being able to sit in your house and just enjoy snuggling by the fire with your blanket on and a hot cup of tea. There's a lot to be said for that. Alright, let's make this one a little bit smaller. Let's have a look. There we go. That's a bit better. we go. And all I've got to do is just move that bit to the side there. There we go. Right then. So that's the basic sort of shape. And then what I need to do is work on his eyelids. And to do them, I'll just get a circle of clay, quite flat, and chop it in half. And then I can use that to make his eyelids. I don't know why. There we go. I don't know why my iPad keeps going out of focus. It's just been a bit of a div today. Let's have a look. There we go. So what I do is I flatten out the circle just a little bit bigger than the size of the eyeball. So it's a little bit bigger. And then I chop it in half. And then I just have a look to see whether that's too big or not. So that's quite a thick bit of clay. So what I'll do is halve that, roll it back into a ball and flatten it. Because that was too flat, too fat, too thick. I want the eyelids fairly thin. I'll do this on the packet so I can actually take it off, otherwise it won't come off my table necessarily. Because I've got, this is like that sticky back PVC stuff, and I resurface my desk every so often when I've basically knackered it. But sometimes if you're using the thin clay, it sticks. I should use like a mat really, but I keep forgetting to get it out. Plus it looks ugly. Right. There we go. So that's one. Pinch that bit off. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to do that. Right, that's gone over the Scarborough. I can always change that, that's fine. Right, and then I'm going to blend that all in with my little, oh, where's my spoon one? I prefer using the spoony shaped one to smooth stuff down. This is what happens when you put stuff away before doing the live stream. I should never do that. Ah, is it you? No, it's not you. No. Oh well. I'll use this one. This is the closest one I've got. So I'm just going to blend all those edges in. Boop, 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 boop. I quite like making these little simple characters. I also want to make, have you seen it where you get a jar and you cover the jar in clay to turn it into something? I'm going to make like a little sort of toadstool house jar using the Sculpey clay. And I think it will work better than when I've done it before because of the fact I can bake the clay and it's quite solid when it's baked. I have done jars and stuff before, but I used the air drying clay before. It was a bit awkward. I just don't like how it dries out so quick. So I did switch for a long time to using epoxy sculpt, which is great if you're doing dolls because it sticks to the vinyl quite well. But obviously I can't put a vinyl doll in the oven to bake the clay. That's my only problem with using Sculpey on a doll. So what I might do is, instead of using like a standard doll and repainting it, what I might actually do is just sculpt them from scratch with the Sculpey, maybe. There we go. It's one eyelid. Yeah, so that's what I think I'm going to do. I haven't got any current ideas for dolls in particular, but I have got like other characters I want to do. If you've seen my old video, I did Ned for Arty, which is my little OC, my little character version of Nosferatu. he's my little original character, and I imagine him to be like Nosferatu's son, and he's called Nedferatu. I did a version of him where I turned him into a little string puppet, and I did him, got to be a couple of years back. It's been quite a while. Yeah, I think a group of like the little mushroom jars or something on a shelf would look really cute. I wanted to, because I like the forest and stuff. So I was thinking of doing a few little jars with like made that are like mushroom designs and that sort of thing. Because I think it'll look cute, and I might just do some little toadstools, like little ornaments or something to go on the table next to the jars, maybe. So yeah, that would look quite cute. But yeah, with the first Ned, I think I made him 2 years ago. It's got to be at least, I'd have thought. I don't know without looking. I kind of like how, oops, I've gone out of focus again. I kind of like how his one cheek looks bigger than the other, but I kind of like that because it looks like this is one face that was used. This is a piece of another one, and a bit of another one. I like that where it doesn't match. So I'm going to show you a little trick for making his hair. So first of all, I need to chop off some clay, and what you need to do is make a very small snake of clay. No, I'll roll the whole thing. I'll roll the whole thing just in case. I don't know how long I need the snake of clay to be. Stick you over there. Focus. Curse you, autofocus. Right, so I'm rolling this out really thin. I think what I'll do next time I do a live stream, I'll stick the 2 studio lights on I've got. My iPad seems to struggle with the one. Either that or I need to put another... I've got a bulb missing in my ceiling, so I think I need to put that in just to level out the light in here a bit and make it a bit brighter, because my the bulbs on my ceiling aren't mega bright. And then hopefully it won't keep going out of focus and being weird. Okay, so I'm trying to roll this out as smoothly as I can. And I'm going to just put on his hairline in like a zigzag type pattern. This will all get blended in. Like so. Actually, I'll stick that round there. Gonna want to go down there, really, aren't we? Okay. I haven't worried about his ears yet. I'll do them in a bit. They're fiddly. So, what I'm going to do is take off that excess bit. So let's just tweak this and make it how I want it, a bit more pointy. Like so. There we go. Then what I need to do is blend the top of this snake clay in. And it's going to make him look like I've put hair on without actually adding to the bulk of the head. It saves clay, and also it's going to make it easier for me to make the hair. And I just need to smooth that all down. Like so. See, he's starting to look like he's got hair. Boom. If you get a bit where it sort of blends in a bit too well, just add another bit of clay, and you can always fix it that way. I'm trying to do this without squishing his face. Because I don't want his hair to be like a big bulky mop on the top. You know what I mean? So this is one way I've found of doing it, which means I don't have to like add like a hat on and then try and blend it all in, because otherwise that ends up a bit of a nightmare and won't work very well. I know his hairline at the back's a bit messed up, but that's fine, I'll fix that in a bit. I'm not worrying about the back of his head just yet. I'll worry about the front first and then worry about the back later. Okay, so he's got his hair. There we go. And he looks rather marvellous, if I do say so myself. So yeah, I'm going to blend that in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him some hair texture. So for that, you just need something thin. And I'm going to just do little lines like this all around that clay I've just added on, first of all. Because I don't want the end to be smooth like that. You need to give it some texture. So it doesn't matter if you chop through the edges, because that'll just give it more of a hair texture. And if you get the little bits of clay that come up, just gently brush them off with your fingers and they'll come off. I'm going to add some little lines in between as well. Ideally I'd want something just a tiny bit thinner than the tool I'm using, but never mind. I'm just going to drag it down a bit so it's more of a point. Boom. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is bring them to a point probably in the centre of the top of his head. So I'm just going to continue those lines going around, and as I go around I'm just rotating the sculpture slightly. This is going to give his hair texture, and it's just going to make it look like he's got hair on his head as opposed to it just being a weird smooth down blob. And I'm just going to work on the edges, blend them down a bit. Like so. And see how the edge of the hair looks rounded like that? I'm just going to go over those edges and break that up, because otherwise it looks weird. I'm going to leave his hair a bit messed up at the back actually, because I imagine if he's like a little Frankenstein, his hair's going to be messed up because it's all different people's hair and different bits of scalp and stuff that's been stuck together. Right, so that's his hair. What I'm going to do now is stick a pole in. I've got some of these little dowel things. I'm going to stick that in just to make my life easier trying to hold him. So I'm just going to decide where I'm going to attach him to the body when I do the body. So if I push that in, I should have done this first really. Oh yeah, it's because I've got foil in there, that's why. So I need to stab it with my metal thing first. There we go. Now I can get the little skewer in. Right, so I'm going to pinch all that clay in, make that little skewer stay in place. that just gives me another way of holding it, because so I don't keep squishing the details. And then I'm just going to fix anything I've just messed up. Boom, 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 boom. Right, let's fix his face, because I pressed in on where his little scars are. Fix that one as well. Right, let's fix your mouth. There we go. Okay. Not going to worry about teeth for this dude. I don't tend to worry too much about doing teeth on something like this. If I was doing, like obviously when I did Ned for arty, we needed teeth. Or if I'm doing, I don't know, some sort of creature or something, then yeah, I'll do teeth. But I'm not too worried about this guy having teeth. I'm just going to do some clay for the neck. If I've got the head and neck with this dowel inside, it's going to make my life a lot easier. So let's just get that all blended in. And I realise I'm going over the scar a little bit, but that's fine. That's not a problem. I can always put that detail back in, and then there's just let's try and smooth that down a bit. There we go. Hey, right, so now he's got a rough neck shape, and the bottom I'm just going to taper off and get that to just sort of grip the stick a bit better if I can. There we go. That's going to not be there later. What I'll do is I'll probably I'll chop off the bit of clay before I bake it, probably about there, and then chop off the excess bit of the little skewer thing. Right, let's put the scar back in, and then I'll show you how I'm going to do his stitches in a minute. But yeah, something like this is quite nice and relaxing, isn't it? For what did I do on his neck on the picture? Yeah, I did. So what I did on the picture for his neck is he has a scar that goes down his neck like that. So where am I going to have that here? I'm going to, because obviously I'm translating my 2D design to 3D, so I do need the back of where this scar goes. So I'll join it like that. Okie doke. So next thing I'm going to need is some little stitches to go where all these lines are. And the easiest way to do that is going to be to roll up some clay. So I'm going to roll a very thin snake of clay. And if you start in the middle and go like that with your fingers, you tend to get a fairly level, fairly straight piece of clay. And I want it quite thin, so anywhere where you see it looks a bit thicker, just go like that on the thick part, and it evens it out a bit. Right, so that's quite thin, and I'm going to press it down, because what I'm making is basically little rectangular pieces. Don't worry if it breaks, doesn't make any difference. Press, 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 press. Come on, just press down. There we go. I'm going to chop off little chunks of it to use, like that. So that's what I'm making. And then, oops, it's in trouble when you use something tiny. And then what I'm going to do, apart from dropping it about 5 million times, I'm just going to straighten out any edges. Where's my pointy one? There we go. I like this pointy one for putting stuff on. I'm just going to get that just on the tip there, and then that's going to go across like that and just smooth down any edges. There you go, that's one stitch. So all I'm doing is chopping it off, then pushing the edges with my finger just to flatten it out a little bit. Square off the edges a little bit more. And then I'll stick that one over here for now. And then just press down like so. There you go, it's 2 stitches. Okay, so let's keep doing that. And this is going to take a few stitches, but I like the effect of it in the end. Let's try just sticking that one on my thumb. Oh, that's alright, that's a bit better. That was a bit quicker actually than fiddling about with the clay tool. I'm going to post a video over the next few days showing you my little redrawing of my OC characters. I've redrawn Frankie, which is this one. I've redrawn Ned for R2. I've done, if you remember, was it last year when the first Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse came out and everyone was drawing like their Spider-Sonas? So I've redrawn my Spider-Sona. And I've got a few more of my little original characters that I want to tweak and redraw. So I think I'm just going to put them all in one video and chat about them or something. Because if I put them on their own, the videos don't do very well, to be fair. But I would like to put them up just for my own enjoyment. Because the way I've kept doing YouTube for so long is I just make videos about what I'd want to see. I don't worry too much about whether it's going to be super popular or anything. Now, don't get me wrong, obviously, if I find out something works, I like to do it. Right, I'm just checking the chat. Floyd 888. I love your work. It's so creative and original. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's nice to know that some people do like what I create. Because obviously part of the satisfaction in creating artwork is being able to share it and people to enjoy it. And not necessarily, you know, just to make money or anything. I've got a day job for that. But what I do is the videos on my YouTube channel are monetized because that pays for my art materials. That's the whole point in having Fumsmusings monetized. But even if it wasn't monetized, I would still do YouTube because I do like to share the artwork I'm creating. And it's quite nice when you brighten someone's day with your artwork, or you know, you inspire someone. I love it when I've inspired someone to try something, you know, to try something new, try something they've not thought of. I just love that. So yeah, I'm glad you like to watch my artwork. Thank you very much. So keep going on the stitches. This is the bit that's going to take the longest, but we're nearly there. We're getting there. And this live stream today is only an hour because I wasn't sure if anyone had come to watch to start off with. So I'm very grateful people have come to watch, so thank you for watching. But I'm doing this till 7 o'clock because my hubby's doing his live stream at 7:30. So the longest I can go to is 7:30 at the very latest, but preferably about sort of 15:15. But next Sunday I can do the live stream for a bit longer because he only does the particular live stream he's doing today, first Sunday of the month. And we should be able to do both at the same time, but obviously can't always trust the internet connection's going to work perfectly. So, plus being my first live stream, I thought, well, an hour might be long enough. I've actually really enjoyed this, and I can't believe how quick 45 minutes has gone. So yeah, I'll do it for longer next week. So next week, do you want to see me finish this guy off? Do you want to see me do something else? Shall I just finish this guy off and upload the video over the next couple of days? What do you think? What should I do? Because I can quite happily leave this dude sitting. I'll just bake the head and then leave him till next week and finish him off. Or I can do something else next week. So what do you think? If you've got any ideas, let me know in the comments, in the chat. And if you're watching this after the live stream, let me know in the comments whether you want to see this guy finished this week or next week. I've got plenty of time in the week to get it done. And I'm back up to speed with my videos because I'd actually run out of videos recently because I've not been very well. So I actually have, I think I'm a month ahead again, if not I'm nearly, because I like to keep my YouTube a month ahead, and then if I don't feel like recording any videos for a couple of days, it makes no difference because the videos are already there, ready to go for that week. So I am catching up. Fiddly, no. This is where it gets fiddly, trying to do underneath. Especially if you squish it, that's not going to help, is it? Oh. So yeah, I think what I'll do is keep this guy, finish him off next week. But if I feel like doing him before then, I might do that and then do something else. I don't know. I'll decide over the next day or two. Well, that stitch is way bigger than all the others. That's not going to work, is it? Oh, it'll be alright. It can just be a big stitch. Let's roll that smaller. Okay. So I've just seen the comment by Powered by All Grey. I watch a video, so I'm happy that watch lives or see him finished in a video. That said, though, it's been nice to see the process as a live. I think it's quite interesting to see it as a live because obviously my videos are normally edited and sped up. And I think it's nice to see actually how long it actually takes. Because I think a lot of the times when you watch a video and it's like a 10-minute video and it's sped up, it does tend to seem like it took me about 5 minutes to make something. And that's never the case. I don't think there's anything that's ever took me less than an hour, depending on what it is. So I think, and it's quite nice to see that, like, what I like, because the reason I've got into live streams this year is I like seeing people creating stuff and obviously how long it actually takes. But I like seeing the processes people go through, like, especially if there's like a mistake or something needs correcting, or, you know, how they fix it. Because a lot of the times when you see stuff on YouTube, it's been edited, the mistakes have been taken out, So like, you know, I've nearly just dropped him on his face and squished his face, which would not have been fun. I quite like seeing that, like, you know, it doesn't always go perfect straight away. And I've never really bothered too much with live streams, but that's what I've started watching a lot of, like the end of last year. I don't know if it's because of being in lockdown, and then obviously you don't get to sort of see people much. Yeah, it's quite a relaxing process, isn't it? Hey to Divyanshu Singh, hey. I'm fine, thank you. Hello to India as well. So yeah, I'm just, whoop, see, oh, dropped it. That's what you got to watch. And then obviously what I'll do, I'm making, this is my original character. It's based off of Frankenstein. He's called Frank E. Stein. He is Frankenstein's son. It's one of my little character drawings I like to do. And I thought I'd see what he looks like made out of clay, because I've not made him out of clay before. I've just drawn him on my iPad, so I wanted to see what he would look like in 3D. So that's what I'm making. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like. Oh, missed a couple of stitches. Thought I'd done those, but realised I haven't. Never mind, we can fit those in. This is where it gets fiddly, because you've got to try and fit them around other stitches. Where am I from? I'm in the UK. So I'm just answering some chat questions. Right, let's just sort out the hair that I've squished. Like so. Oh, and drop him on his face again. Well done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put his hairline back in, because I've squished it a little bit. Like so. There you go. Let's put that back. Because obviously I've not realised what I've been doing is, while I've been doing the rest of it, I've accidentally pressed the sides in. Never mind. So there he is. He's looking quite good. Now I'm going to do the little bit in the centre of his eyes. So I'm just going to roll a tiny ball of clay and pop that like so. And then do one slightly bigger. Divyanshu Singh, why very less people are watching? I don't normally do live streams. This is my first one. So it's going to take a while for people to realise I do live streams on the regular and watch them. That's all. And I do videos on lots of different things, and not all of my subscribers are interested in seeing me make stuff out of clay. So that's why there's only a few people watching. Doing live streams, literally. This is my first one. I did one. I mean, I've done YouTube for about 14 years, and I think I've only ever done it once before, and that was with the old system that YouTube used to have for live streams, which was many, many moons ago. So, yeah. And a bit short notice as well, because to be fair, I only said I was doing a live stream today, this morning, so they just haven't seen. Oh, thank you. Right, let's sort out the hairline at the back. All I'm doing is just pressing in just to redefine that edge, and then blending out the hair like so, just to make it look like there was a hairline still in there. And let's take that off. I normally do one eye bigger than the other, but the pupil bigger. One pupil bigger than the other looks weird. Okie doke. So then what I'll do now is for next week, I will bake this in the oven. It goes in the oven on 130 degrees centigrade for about half an hour. And once it's fully baked and hardened, then at least I won't ruin any details when I make the next bit. So obviously the next step is I will chop the dough. I'll chop the clay off about here, chop the dough a bit shorter, pop it in the oven. And yeah, there we go. I'm actually pleased with him. He came out better than my Ned that I made earlier. This is the one I made. This was like my vampire one I made earlier. I don't know. There's something about it I don't like, so I'm going to look at it tomorrow. What I tend to do, if I find I've got a sculpture or something I'm doing and I don't like how it's going or I'm not sure, what I tend to do is I leave it to one side, look at it with fresh eyes in the morning, and I'll either be able to tell what's wrong with it, why I don't like it, or I'll just think, yeah, I definitely don't like it. I won't bother firing it, because the advantage with this clay is until you've fired it in the oven, you can reuse it. Yeah, Powered by Earl Grey says Sundays is a good time for a live. I think it's nice thing to watch on an evening. Oh, thank you. I'll see what I think of him in the morning. 12:25 a.m. in India. It's currently 6:55 p.m. in the UK. Yeah, I agree that Sundays are a good time to do live streams. It's the time I've got to do it. It's one of the times I'll consistently have enough time in the day to do it, like in the evening. And also I just think it's a nice relaxing way to end the weekend, ready for the work week on Monday. I'm just putting his nostrils in because I've decided he looks strange without nostrils. There we go. And then all I'm going to do now is add a couple of little wrinkles and things here and there, just to give his face a bit of texture, because I don't want him to be completely smooth. Even though he's very cartoony, I think it's quite nice just to add those little textures in. So little eye wrinkles. Let's get that little blob of clay off. There we go. So see how I've made his eyes wrinkly? I'm going to add a little bit of wrinkle texture to his skin as well, because I'm imagining that if this was made out of lots of different people, the skin would be quite wrinkly and stretched and baggy maybe in places. So I'm just going to add those skin textures and some little sort of bags under his eyes. Make him look a bit old. Yeah, he's I probably could do his smile in a different place. I know I've definitely done it sort of off to the side, but that's like the sort of how I do the character. Some wrinkles there, just around his mouth. I want him to look nice and wrinkly. If you get them little blobs of clay that come up when you actually manipulate the clay, just tap them with the very end of your clay tool and they'll stick to the end of your clay tool, like that, and you can lift them off. Alright, let's add some more wrinkles. And I'm being very random. I'm not trying to do, you know, straight lines that were, you know, that are perfect or perfectly lined up or anything. Sort of go backwards and forwards over the area and make it all different. Let's get those little bits off. I wonder if this would come off easier if I had some clay softener I could use over the top. I don't know. They'll come off once I bake it anyway, but it might be easier if I could just get them off. Might use a little paintbrush or something to get some of these off. Right, let's do. So if I've got yeah, it's definitely powered by Oil Grey. It's definitely worth checking out this clay. It's really nice to work with. What I like is it holds patterns and things, and like, I mean, the texture of the wrinkly skin, as long as I don't press too hard on it with my finger, it holds those details really nicely. And even when you're baking it, those little details stay in. So that's what I quite like about this. And I also like the fact that it doesn't dry out until you bake it in the oven, which obviously makes life a lot easier. It's kind of what I'd imagine using Monster Clay would be like, except this is softer. And I think with Monster Clay you have to heat it up, and then obviously you can't fire that, so it's just designed to stay soft and then be used for clay moulds and things. Plaster moulds, you know, when they make things for special effects for films and stuff. Right, so what I'm doing now is adding some wrinkles to his neck. Fumsmusings, no, I'm not following a particular sculpture or anything. This is literally me just working from my head and my drawing I did. I just drew a rough design for this, and then I'm just sculpting it from there. I've added more detail than what's in my drawing, but because the drawing's very cartoony. So this is just me imagining what he would look like if he was a sculpture. Yeah, it is good that you get to change your mind a lot. So like with the Ned one I did, that's not quite finished yet, I did actually make something else before I made that today. Hated it, so I smushed it and then reused the clay. So that's one thing I do like about this. You just have to be delicate if you're doing, like, if you've already done details, say, on the top of the head, and then you're doing details at the bottom of the head like I'm doing. You just got to be careful because you can squish some of the details you've already done. So there you go. These little bits will come off. And he's a bit loose on my dowel. What I should have done is put the dowel in first and then hot glued it in. In fact, let's get my hot glue gun on. What I'll do is I'll put a bit of hot glue on and hopefully it'll stay in place a bit better, because at the minute it's just spinning around in there. So let's, if I make a hole a bit bigger. But yeah, what I should have done is made sure this was secure in the foil first. Never mind, I can fix it. And hopefully my glue gun will heat up. It takes a minute or two. Right. Let's get them bits off. Come on, get off bits. Let's have a look. So all I'm going to do is put some hot glue in there, pop the dowel back in, and then once the dowel is nice and secure with the head, I can just redo the lines at the top and just make sure that texture in the hair is back. So I'm trying really hard now not to touch the face. But yeah, he's done quite well. So can you see what I'm doing quite clearly your end? Because obviously my light, I should have put me with the light on, but I forgot. So I'm just wondering if this was clear enough for you to see what I was doing. Like, was I zoomed in enough? And if I was, then brilliant. So there you go. See all his wrinkles. And his little face. And he's got wrinkles on his eyes. Yeah, I think if I used a paintbrush. Oh yeah, that gets the pieces off very easy. Do. Oh good, it's nice and clear, good. I think I will put my other light on now, because what it is it's a bit dull in here. But I'm glad you've been able to see what I've been doing. Let's just get that last little bit off. Just getting off the little bits of clay that lift up as you're, you know, as you carving the details. But yeah, what I find if you're thinking of using this clay is it comes in a solid block. Let's zoom you out a bit. It comes in a big block like this. This is what the packet looks like. And I've seen people when they get the Sculpey out the box and they seem to just be able to peel a layer off, but that's just, no, it's not on this one. So I find I have to cut into it, but I haven't actually got, I used to have like a little wire, like a cheese cutter, like a cheese wire to cut this. Goodness knows what I've done with it. Right, I mean, I last used clay many moons ago. So what I tend to do is I have to use something like this and just chop chunks off. And then I find it's very stiff at first, but once you've, oops, let's not squish your face. Once you've manipulated the clay for a minute or so, it does soften up and become more workable. So you just have, sometimes you have to just sit there with a piece of it and just squish it a little bit. And once it's warmed up, it's really easy to manipulate. Right, speaking of warmed up, is my hot glue gun awake? Right, so let's get some hot glue in here. Now, the only thing is, and I know this full well because I realised this the other day with another sculpture I did, obviously using hot glue in here to secure this is all well and good, but when it's in the oven, the hot glue will remelt. So what you tend to have to do is, once the sculpture's cooled, I might have to put a bit more hot glue on this. But if I just leave it, like, so the hot glue will be inside the neck. And what I'll do is, if this rod loosens, I'll just leave it, like not touch the sculpture till it's cooled down. And once it's fully cooled down, the hot glue will reset. So it'll make it secure. So there you go. See, he's not wobbling around now because he's glued in place. I suppose I could use bacon bond. Really would probably be better, which is this stuff, because this is designed to bond the glue together, and it bonds things to bonds the clay together, or it bonds like things like the wooden dowels to the clay. So this would probably be better to use because once it's been baked in the oven, this goes hard as well. But I'm trying not to use all of it because it ain't cheap. So yeah, there you go. That means I can work on his head now without making a mess. Okie doke, there we go. Like so. Okay. Yeah, it's alright. If you comment and I feel a bit weirded out by how you're commenting, I'll just delete your comments. Sorry about that. Yeah, when you start saying I want to see your face and stuff like that, I'm just like, nah, you can go bye-bye. So, yeah. Plus, also, if someone's like dominating the chat, so I'm just talking to one person, it gets a bit old. So apologies if anyone gets offended, but I delete messages like that. So there we go. He is done. And that's it. I better go because my hubby is going to require the internet very soon. And I've already gone over time. This was originally going to be till 7 o'clock. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this live stream, and I'll see you next week with this dude, and we'll finish him off next week. Next week for this, so I'm going to bake him today, and then next week I will make his body and paint the head. And then obviously next week, once I've made the body, I'll bake that in the oven, and then probably the week after paint that. So over the next couple of weeks, this guy will get finished. Yeah, so thank you, Powered by All Greg. Glad you've enjoyed the live stream. So yeah, I'll definitely be here next Sunday. It should be the same time, 6 till 7. I'll put a little notification up somewhere. Haven't done there's a thing a lot of people put up where it's like a premiere thing when they're doing a live stream. I've got no clue how that works, so yeah, I've never used that. So I just put up like a little mini video just saying I'm going to be live streaming. So I'll probably do the same again next week just to let you know when. And I put that on all of my social medias as well. I'm Fumsmusings on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere. So yeah, if you want to know when the next live stream is, follow me on YouTube or one of them. Oh, and Acorn Moon, it looks amazing. Oh, thank you, Acorn Moon. Glad you like it. See, I'm quite pleased with him. Compared to the sculpture I did earlier. The one I did earlier, oh, I hated it. Not the Ned one. I think that's what's missing off this, you know, I think. Because you see, this one's got loads of detail and like the wrinkles. He hasn't. I might have solved what the problem is with it. All right then, so I will hopefully see you guys next week. Thank you for watching. And if I can remember how to exit out of this, I'll see you next Sunday at 6. Bye for now.